Hello and welcome into the championship series here at Lima, Ohio. It's the Grand Lake Mariners versus the Lima Locos. I'm Ryan Strovick, proud to bring you coverage of Grand Lake Mariner baseball all season long. We're here in the championship series between the two oldest teams in the GSL SCL. Joe Wiles going to lead things off for Grand Lake. As Brad Corey winds delivers the first pitch down and away for ball one. Mariners in the championship for the first time since 2006 when they won it all. Lima coming back after they lost it last year. The next pitch swung on and missed 1-1. One ball, one strike. The count on Joe Wiles. Here's the line, the pitch. That one's outside, 2-1. The rest of the lineup, we'll get you that in a second. Mariners defeat the Richmond Jazz 7-6 last night to advance this championship series. That pitch swung on, fouled away. Evens the count up at 2-2. The Mariners have faced elimination 3 times this week and have won every game. The next pitch is outside, full count. The next one swung on. This one is lined into right field. Joe Wiles gets things started for the Mariners here in the top half of the first inning. Pat Reif now going to come to the plate. He's the designated hitter for the Mariners. The rest of the lineup looks like this for Grand Lake. Tucker Linder is going to follow Reif here. He's at first base. Varda in the cleanup spot in right field. Nate Osmo batting fifth, playing at short. R.J. Williams in left field. He is batting sixth. Cole Womack, he's at second base, batting seventh. Nick Emanuel, the catcher, will be in the eighth spot. And Steven Fitzsimmons rounding out the order in center field. Here's the pitch to Reif. That's outside. 1-0. Or it's called a strike, so it's an 0-1 count now on Reif. Runner on first, Joe Wiles gets things started for the Mariners. Brad Croy on the mound. Reif shows bunt, pulls back, called a ball. 1-1. Joe Wiles led the team in stolen bases, so always a threat down at first base. Here's the pause, the pitch. Reif lides this one right back up the middle, base hit. So Mariners start the game off with 2 straight singles, and now Tucker Linder comes to the plate. He's at first base for the Mariners tonight. Little shake-up in the lineup. Linder and Osmo switching spots. Brad Croy in the regular season went 2-1 with a 1.95 ERA. He made 7 appearances, all of those coming via the start. 46 innings pitched. The first pitch to Linder, down and in, 1-0. 36 strikeouts, 13 walks, and 37 hits allowed by Brad Croy. He comes out, looks at Isles at second. The next pitch is in there for a strike, 1-1. His last outing came against Licking County on July 25th. He took the loss, went 7 innings, allowed 2 runs on 6 hits, 2 walks, and 6 strikeouts. Here's the 1-1 pitch now on Tucker Linder. That one swung on, slowly tapped to third. He goes to second for 1. The throw on to first is in time. A 5-4-3 double play. Isles gets down to third base. So runner at second, Nick Varda coming to the plate. And he has picked things up here in the last couple of weeks, including the playoffs. He hit that big home run on Tuesday to lift the Mariners over the Southern Ohio Copperheads. And then he is now at the plate right now. So runner on third, 2 gone in the inning. Croy going to work from the windup. Here's the pitch. That's outside, 1-0. One ball, no strikes. The 1-0 pitch swung on and missed. 1-1. Small backstop, so you got to really make sure you can get home if the ball gets by the catcher. It's a 1-1 count here on Nick Varda. That one swung on, fouled straight back into the fencing. Varda down in the count now, 1-2. Lima comes in today with the best record in the league. They were 30-11 in the regular season, and they swept the best of three versus St. Clair. The next pitch bounces to the plate, 2-2. Two balls, two strikes, two gone. Deuces are wild on the scoreboard. Isles down at third. Here's the wind, the pitch. That one swung on a miss. Varda down on strikes. So after back-to-back singles to lead off the top half of the first inning, the Mariners can't get anything else going. We go to the bottom half of the first inning. No score. You're listening and watching Grand Lake Mariner Baseball right here on YouTube. Welcome back. I'm Ryan Trovic, Grand Lake Mariner Baseball here in the championship series of the GLSCL. Locos coming to bat for the first time here this evening. Here's how their lineup shakes off. Ross Adolph, he's in center field. He's going to lead things off. Josh DeBacker, he's in right field batting second. Garrett Hodges batting third. He's in left field. That first pitch is swung on, popped back out of play. Jedediah Fagg, he's the DH. He'll be in the cleanup spot. Will Kilgore, he's at first base, batting fifth. Stephen Dobbs, he's at third base, batting sixth. JT Thomas batting seventh. He's doing the catching. That one swung on, slowly tapped down the third baseline, but it's fouled off of Adolph in the box, so count goes to 0-2. Batting eighth, Jay Muse, he's at second base, and rounding out the order at short, Tyler Tobert. So 0-2 the count on Ross Adolph, the center fielder for the Lima Locos. Locos looking to win the championship here after falling in 5 games to the Hamilton Joes last year. The next pitch swung on, hit pretty well on the right field, but Varda moving over, makes the catch, one gone. So one gone in the inning. That's going to bring up Josh DeBacker to the plate. He's in right field for Lima. On the mound tonight for the Mariners, it's Josh Herford. He pitched in the Wednesday game against the Jazz. He went 4 innings, 1 run, 3 hits allowed, and 4 strikeouts. Mariners lost that game 6-5. On the regular season, he went 0 for 1 with a 4.69 ERA. Made 6 appearances, all those coming via the start. 30 2/3 innings pitched, 20 strikeouts, 11 walks, and 41 hits. It's an 0-1 count. Here's the next pitch. As that one swung on, grounded down the first baseline, but a foul ball. 0-2. So Herford working fast and working ahead early on. Ahead 0-2 on the 2-hole hitter, Josh DeBacker. Another brisk night here at the ballpark. Temperatures around 73 degrees. As the next pitch just missed outside, 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 gone, bottom half of the first inning. Here's the 1-2 pitch, swung on, popped him up. Left field, R.J. Williams coming in, now going back, now makes the catch. 2 flyouts to begin the game, 2 up, 2 down. Garrett Hodges, the left fielder, comes to the plate. So Garrett Hodges to the plate, he's in left field. The Locos, they defeated St. Clair 2-0 in their series. They won 7-0 and then 9-2. They got the day off yesterday because the Mariners forced the game 3. The pitch in there for a strike, 0-1. Hartford pounding his own early here. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That one swung on. That one's lined into right center field. Fitzsimmons racing over, dives, and he makes the catch. Stephen Fitzsimmons with another spectacular catch in center field, and that will end the inning. So all the outfielders getting some work here in the bottom half of the first inning. We go to the second. No score here at Lima. You're listening, watching Grand Lake Mariner Baseball right here on YouTube. Welcome back here, top half of the second inning. No score here in Lima. Nate Osmo going to lead things off for the Mariners. Here's the line, the pitch. Osmo takes for a strike, 0-1. So Nate Osmo at short tonight. Here's the line, the 0-1 pitch. Up high, 1-1. Mariners and Locos did face off in 2006 championship series with the Mariners coming out on top. That one swung on, fouled back out of play. Count goes to 1-2. Best of 3 series here in the championship. Here's the 1-2 pitch, way outside. Evens count up at 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, the line, the pitch, and then curveball in there. Osmo goes down looking. 2 strikeouts on the day now for Croy, and R.J. Williams, the left fielder, comes to the plate. So R.J. Williams to the plate. As Croy Wines delivers, that one's first pitch swinging, grounded to second. Up with it is Muse, on to first in time. 2 up, 2 down here in the top half of the second inning. Cole Womack, the second baseman, coming to the plate. He's been picking up his part in the order. Bottom part of the order really coming alive for the Mariners here lately. Everybody hitting in the order, which is a good sign to see. Here's the pitch to Womack. He's first pitch swinging. Right field, a diving stop by Muse. Gets up, throws on to first, and Womack is tripped over the first baseman. It was a nice play by Muse, but the throw cannot be made. And now the first baseman, Kilgore, is down and looks to be in some pain, but he's getting up. He's trying to lock it out. So Womack down at first. It's going to be a tough play for Muse. He made a nice play, but the throw was offline. Womack ran over Kilgore, who was trying to get the ball. But Kilgore's going to stay in now. That brings up to the plate Nick Emanuel, the catcher. I mean, last time we saw him was at Southern Ohio, and he was just getting beat up behind the plate. Foul balls and pitches that are crossing him up, and it eventually led him to exiting the game early. But he's in here now at the plate now with 2 gone and a runner on first. Here's the pitch. That's outside. 1-0. The 1-0 pitch to Emanuel's in there for a strike. 1-1. The 1-1 is down in the dirt. 2-1. Croy working from the stretch, works from the left side of the rubber. Womack takes his lead. Here's the next pitch. That's in there on the outside corner for a strike. 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 gone. Deuces are wild here in the top half of the second inning. The next pitch, swung on, punched foul, out of play. Count remains 2-2. Two Central Division foes facing up against each other. They faced each other 8 times in the regular season. Lima getting the best of them. As the next pitch inside, called strike 3. On the inside part of the plate, Emanuel trying to argue his case, but he's not going to get it overturned. We go to the bottom half of the second inning, no score here in Lima. You're listening and watching Grand Lake Mariner Baseball right here on YouTube. Bottom half of the second inning, no score here in Lima. Locos coming to bat. Mariners with 3 hits so far in the ball game, but also with 3 strikeouts. Jedediah Fagg, Will Kilgore, and Stephen Dobbs going to come to the plate for the Locos here in the bottom half of the second inning. Orford on the mound. He works from wide left of the rubber. He winds, delivers the pitch. Curveball inside for ball one. The 1-0 pitch in there for a strike. 1-1. Hartford has been working pretty effectively here in the early goings. Here's the 1-1. That one just misses. 2-1. He steps back. Now the 2-1 pitch. Checked his swing. They say he went around. Count goes to 2-2. The 2-2, that swung on, popped up, foul territory. Linder, Hereford going after it, but no one's going to catch it as it hits the base of the Mariner dugout. Count remains 2-2. Here's the 2-2, swung on, hardly hit to Womack, goes under his legs. So Jedediah Fagg is going to reach out an error by Cole Womack. And Will Kilgore now steps to the plate. He's at first base here tonight for the Locos. Runner on first, no one gone. Here, bottom half, second inning, no score. Championship series between the Lima Locos and Grand Lake Mariners. Hereford working from the stretch for the first time today. The first pitch from the stretch is a ball, 1-0. Much like he works from the windup from the left-hand side of the rubber, he works from the left-hand side out of the stretch as well. The throw over, but back in safely is Jedediah Fagg. Will Kilgore 5 for 7 in the playoffs with a home run and an RBI. And swinging a hot bat for the Locos. Isles plays on the grass. Here's the next pitch. That one swung, and that one's pretty well left field. Going back on to Fitzsimmons and RJ. And that pitch is gone as that one hits the scoreboard. And Lima is going to take a 2-0 lead here off the 2-run home run from Will Kilgore. First hit of the ball game, a home run off the bat of Will Kilgore. Lima takes the lead, 2-0. Steven Dobbs now comes to the plate. He's at third base for the Lima Locos. Hartford winds, delivers. The next pitch is down in the dirt, 1-0. So Will Kilgore completely just demolishes the baseball, hits it off the scoreboard here at Lima. They take a 2-0 lead. Here's the next pitch. That one swung on right to Joe Isles at 30. Picks it up, throws on to first, and that's in time. One gone. Well, air somewhat hurting the Mariners here. That allows a run to come around to score that most likely wouldn't have. One gone in the inning. JT Thomas, the man behind the plate for the Locos, comes to the plate. Hereford kicks back. Now the pitch. Curveball in there for a strike. 0-1. The 0-1 pitch. Popped him up. Foul territory, left-hand side. Joe Isles is going to watch it go out of play. Hereford ahead 0-2 on Thomas. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Swung on, popped him up. Shallow center field. Womack looking at it. He's going to make the catch in shallow center field. 2 going. Second baseman Jay Muse comes to the plate. 2-0. Lima leads it. A line the pitch. Swing and a miss. 0-1. The next pitch inside. 1-1. The line, the 1-1 pitch, swung on, chopped to third. Isles up with it. Long throw on to first, in time. Side retired. Lima gets on board first as they get a 2-run home run from Will Kilgore. We'll be right back. You're listening and watching Grand Lake Mariner Baseball right here on YouTube. We go here to the top half, third inning. 2-0. Lima leads it off a 2-run home run from Will Kilgore. He completely hit the baseball off the scoreboard. As Stephen Fitzsimmons going to lead things off. It's going to be Fitzsimmons. Then we'll go back to the top of the order. Joe Isles and Pat Wright also going to come to the plate. Here's the line. The 1-0 pitch is outside corner. Called a strike. 1-1. The 1-1 swung on, and that one is pulled foul. The right-hand side. Fitzsimmons down the count, 1-2. 1-2 pitch called. Strike 3. 1 gone in the inning. 4th strikeout for Croy here in the early goings. We go back to the top of the order. Joe Isles coming to the plate. He singled in his first at-bat of the night. He got all the way down to third before the Locos got out of the inning. Here's the line, the pitch. Joe Isles takes strike 1, 0-1. The line, the 0-1 pitch is outside and high, 1-1. The 1-1, that one is down low at the shins, 2-1. That one swung on, popped back out of play. Count evens up at 2-2. Top half the third inning. Best of 3 series, game 1 of the series. The Mariners avoiding elimination 3 times. Here's the 2-2. Down low, full count. They won Tuesday at Southern Ohio in a winner-go-home matchup. They lost to Richmond on Wednesday. Come back Thursday and Friday to beat the Jazz. That one swung on, popped up, foul territory, right-hand side, and that one gets out of play. Count remains 3-2. 3 one-run ball games for the Mariners as well. Now in one-run game as the 3-2 is down low, and Isles going to head down to first with a one-out walk. And that non-one-run game came on Thursday when the Mariners defeated the Richmond Jazz 8-1. Pat Reif comes to play. He laced a single right back up the middle his first time up. Here's the pitch to Reif. He pops this one up left field. Over and making a catch is Hodges. 2 gone. So 2 gone in the inning. Tucker Linder comes to the plate. He grounded into a 5-4-3 double play in his first at bat. Two gone, runner on first, 2-0. Lima leads it. Croy comes set. Here's the pitch. That one up high. 1-0. That one bounces, kicks away. Isles moves up to second base. 2-0 the count. Now on Tucker Linder. Two balls, no strikes, 2 gone. Croy looks at second, now comes set, now the pitch. That's in there for a strike. 2-1. The 2-1. And there for a strike. 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 gone. Top half of the third inning, runner on second. The 2-2. Called. Strike 3. Linder goes on down on strikes. 6 strikeouts for Brad Croy. We go to the bottom half of the third inning. 2-0. Lima leads it. You're listening and watching Grand Lake Mariner Baseball right here on YouTube. Bottom half of the third inning, 2-0. Lima leads it. It'll be the 9-hole hitter, then we'll go back to the top of the order for the Lima Locos. Here's the first pitch. Tyler Tolbert takes strike 1. It's an 0-1 count. Tolbert 4 for 8 here in the playoffs with 2 RBIs. The next pitch is in there for a strike as well. 0-2. So we're at 354 for the Locos in the regular season. That pitch misses for a ball, 1-2. With 5 doubles, 13 RBIs. The 1-2 pitch. Allen misses for a ball. 2-2. The line, the 2-2. Called strike 3 on the inside corner. First strikeout of the day for Josh Herford. 1 gone. And Ross Adolph now going to come to the plate for the Locos. He flew out to right field his first time up. Herford winds, delivers the pitch, swung on. That one's ripped to first. Linder stops it. Now he flips on to Herford covering first, and they still get the out. Good recovery right there from Tucker Linder. And there's 2 quickly down here in the bottom half of the 3rd inning. Josh DeBecker comes to the plate. He's in right field. Flew out to left field his first time up. Was the second best batter on the Locos in the regular season at 353 with 4 doubles, 2 triples, and 16 RBIs. Here's the pitch. That one swung on. That one's hit high and well out to right field. Varda over, makes the catch to end the inning. 1-2-3 go the Locos here in the bottom half of the 3rd inning. We go to the top of the 4th, 2-0. Lima leads it. You're listening and watching Grand Lake Mariner Baseball right here on YouTube. Well, you go here to the top half of the 4th inning, and Nick Varda leads things off with a single into right field on the first pitch. So Nick Varda on at first. Nate Osmo comes to the plate. Osmo 0 for 1. He struck out looking in his first plate appearance. Here's the 2-0, or first pitch to Nate Osmo. And therefore a strike, 0-1. The 0-1 pitch, down low. 1-1. Varda at first, 2-0. Lima leads it. But Mariners out hitting them so far, 4 hits to 1. Here's the next pitch, and Osmo lines this one straight back into the fencing. Count goes to 1-2. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Checked his swing and went in the other batter's box. They appealed down to first, but Osmo held up, 2-2. Great night for some baseball. Here's the 2-2, and Osmo takes, and that one misses for a ball. Full count. And Croy struck out 5 so far through 3 innings. Here's the payoff pitch. That one swung on, and that one's hit foul out of play. So count's going to remain 3-2. Varda takes his lead off first. Croy comes set. Here's the 3-2 pitch, and that one is low, and Nate Osmo going to head down to first. First 2 on for the Mariners here in the top half of the 4th inning. R.J. Williams comes to the plate. He grounded out to second base his first time up. Two nothing. Grand Lake trails here. But they have 2 on here in the top half of the 4th inning. Teammates in the spring, but opponents here today. Brad Croy and R.J. Williams. Croy comes set. Here's the pitch. Shows bunt, pulls back, called a strike anyways. Count goes to 0-1. Varda at second, Osmo at first. Corner infield creeping in for Locos. RJ bunts this one, but no, he offers, and count goes to 0-2, so RJ going to look to be swinging here. Trying to get the runners to advance a base with just 1 gone, but it's an 0-2 count now on RJ Williams here in the top half of the 4th inning. Croy comes set, looks at second, the pitch swung on, foul, straight back. RJ stays alive. Still an 0-2 count. Croy looks on now. The pause, the 0-2. Swing and a miss by R.J. Williams. He goes down on strikes. 1 gone. Cole Womack steps to the plate. He got a single into right field his first time up. Runners at second and first. 1 gone. 2-0. Lima leads it here in Lima, Ohio at Simmons Field. Locos, the 17th best team in summer collegiate baseball across the U.S. As here's the first pitch to Womack. That catches the outside part of the plate. Count goes to 0-1. No balls, 1 strike, 1 gone. Croy looks at second, now delivers home. The next pitch in there for a strike as well. Womack down 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 gone. The pitch. Outside, 1-2. Very tough pitch to lay off for Cole Womack, but he does. Count moves to 1-2. The 1-2 pitch, that one bounces, that one kicks away from J.T. Thomas at the plate. Runners move up. So runners at second and third now with only 1 gone. It's a 2-2 count on Cole Womack. Two balls, 2 strikes. Corner infield in for the Locos. Middle infield back. That pitch swung on. That one's lined into right center field. Going back on it, making the catch is the right fielder. Varda tagging up from third. The throw to third base, not going to come anywhere close. The Mariners get on the board on a sac fly from Cole Womack. It's a 2-1 ball game now. So Mariners get on the board, runner on third, 2 gone. Nick Emanuel comes to the plate. He struck out looking in his first at-bat. Here's the line, the pitch. That one swung on a miss by Emanuel. 0-1 the count. Two gone here in the top half of the fourth inning. Mariners get a run. Here's the next pitch. That one swung on, fouled off. Emanuel down in the count, 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 gone. Osmo down at third. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Outside, 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes. The next pitch down low. 2-2. Locos finish first in the Central Division with a 30-11 record. Finished 7.5 better than Grand Lake. That one swung on. That one's wide into right field, coming in and making the catch for the third and final out. As we go to the bottom half of the fourth inning. Mariners pick up a run, though, as now it's a 2-1 ball game on a sac fly from Cole Womack. We'll be right back. You're listening and watching Grand Lake Mariner Baseball right here on YouTube. On to the bottom half of the fourth inning, 2-1 the score. Mariners get a run on a sac fly from Cole Womack. Herford on the mound, winds delivers the pitch way outside and down low, 1-0. It'll be Garrett Hodges, Dedejah Fagg, and Will Kilgore for the Locos. The next pitch outside, 2-0. 2 balls, no strikes. Bottom half of the fourth inning. Next pitch swung on. This one's lifted into left center field. R.J. Williams racing over, makes the catch for out number 1. One gone in the inning. Jedediah Fagg to the plate. He reached on an error his last time up and came around to score. Herford winds, delivers the pitch, swung on, he popped him up, straight up. Joe Isles calling for it. He is in foul territory, makes the catch. Comes all the way in from third base to make that catch. Nonetheless, there's two gone. Two up, two down here in the bottom half of the fourth inning. Will Kilgore comes to the plate. He hit a monster two-run home run his last time up that hit off the scoreboard here at Simmons Field. 2 balls, 1 strike. Here's the pitch. That one swung on. That one's hit pretty well. Left field. R.J. Williams going to look at it and go out of play. Count goes 0-1. The 0-1 pitch. And bounces. 1-1. One ball, 1 strike. The next pitch, and that one hits Kilgore on the left leg. So he'll head down to first base on a hit by pitch. And lost control of the slider there from Josh Herford. Stephen Dobbs comes to the plate. He grounded out to third his first time up. Turner at first, 2 gone. Herford working from the stretch now. He comes set. Here's the pitch. Over for a strike, 0-1. Bottom 4, 2-1. Locos lead it. 1 run on 4 hits, 1 error for Grand Lake. 2 runs on 1 hit for Lima. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That one down low. 1-1. One ball, 1 strike. Here's the next pitch. That one just misses right there. 2-1. The 2-1. That one swung on. That one's hit well to center field. Fitzsimmons goes over, makes the catch. Third and final out of the inning. Locos leave a runner on after hit by pitch. We go to the top half of the 5th inning, 2-1. Lima leads it. You're listening and watching Grand Lake Mariner Baseball right here on YouTube. Top half of the 5th inning, Stephen Fitzsimmons, and then we'll go back to the top of the order with Isles and Rife. Once again here, Fitzsimmons, he struck out looking his last time and first time at the plate. Simmons in center field. Here's the line, the pitch from Croy. That one is down and away. What a no. 2-1, Lima leads it. A 2-run home run by Will Kilgore in the bottom half of the 2nd inning gives Lima the lead. Here's the next pitch. That one's down and away as well. 2-0. And Mariners get a run back in the top half of the 4th inning off an RBI sac fly from Cole Womack. The line, the 2-0, and that one, it looks like it hit Fitzsimmons. So Fitzsimmons going to head down to first base on a hit by pitch. Mariners get their leadoff runner on here in the top half of the 5th inning. Joe Isles comes to the plate. So runner on first, no one gone. Joe Isles to the plate. 1 for 1 on the day, reaching on a single in the first, walked in the third. Brad Croy on the mound for the Lima Locos. Here's the pitch. Isles lines this one over the head of Tobert, just barely. Fitzsimmons takes a big lead around second, but goes back to the bag. It's a single for Joe Isles, but man, talk about the hops of Tyler Tobert. Almost went up and got that one, which I thought had no business being caught. So runners now on first and second. Pat Reif to the plate. Don't be surprised at all if Reif will be laying down a bunt right here to try to get the runners over with one gone. Coach O'Neill likes to play small ball baseball. Try to get runners as close to scoring as they can with less than 2 outs. Reif shows bunt. He does get this one as that one's popped back out of play. Count goes to 0-1. Fitzsimmons at second, Isles at first. Croy looks on, now he comes set. The pitch, Reif showing bunt, pulls it back, called a ball, 1-1. That's the 3 series. Tomorrow's game will be played at 7:05 at Montgomery Field. Final home game there. And if game 3 necessary, as the next pitch high and away. 2-1. If game 3 is necessary, we'll play Monday, 7:05, right back here at Simmons Field. 2-1 count on Patrick Reif. No one gone here, top half of the 5th inning. Shows bunt, pulls it back, outside, 3-1. So Croy falling behind Patrick Reif here. The next pitch, called a strike on the outside part of the plate after Reif showed bunt and pulled back once more. Now it's a full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes. No one gone. Runners on first and second. Roy comes set. The pitch, called, strike 3. Reif doesn't agree with the call, 1 gone now. Tucker Linder comes to the plate. Linder 0 for 2. Grounded into a double play. The first struck out. Looking in the third. Runners on first and second. 1 gone. Here's the pitch. That's in there for a strike, 0-1. Troy gets ahead of Linder here. Looks at second. Here's the next pitch. That one's up high. 1-1. 2-1 Lima leads it here. Top half of the 5th inning. Game 1 of a best of 3 in this championship series. Here's the 1-1. That one is in the dirt. 2-1. Brad Croy. Third pitch. That one swung on. That one's lined right to Tobert. He flips on to second for 1. Oh, it's dropped. Everybody's going to be safe. Tobert made that play look a little more interesting than maybe it should have. He threw on to second. And everybody's going to be safe on the E4 by Muse. As we'll have a mound visit right here in the top half of 5th inning. Bases loaded, 1 gone, and Nick Farter will be the batter when this mound visit's over. We'll bring you some MLB scores now. The Cubs defeat the Nationals 7-4. Dodgers defeat the Mets 7-4 as well. Brewers on top of the Rays, 1-0 in Tampa, bottom half of the sixth inning there. In the bottom half of the second inning in Pittsburgh, no score. The Pirates taking on the Padres. Tigers on top of the Orioles, 2-0 in Baltimore in the middle half of the third inning. Marlins Braves tied up at 0 in the bottom half of the fourth in Atlanta. Astros on top of the Blue Jays, 3-2. Going to the top half of the fourth in Houston. 2-1, Cardinals on top of the Reds, going to the bottom half of the third in Cincinnati. Nick Varda at the plate. A pitch swung on a missed. 0-1. Bases loaded here, top half of the fifth inning. Golden opportunity for the Mariners. Nick Varda, 1 for 2 on the day, singled, came around to score his last time up. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That one swung on, fouled straight back, and Varda now down to the count 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes. The count on Varda. Here's the next pitch. That one swung on. That one's hit foul. So Varda stays alive. Nothing in 2. The count on Varda. Croy comes set. Here's the pitch. That one's down low. 1-2. Lima fans being very vocal tonight, as they always are, always drawing a pretty good crowd. One ball, 2 strikes on Varda. One gone. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. Varda is out. Number 2. Nate Osmo comes to the plate. Brad Croy with 8 strikeouts. Top half of the fifth inning. The line, the pitch to Osmo. That one swung on, chopped down third in foul territory. Count goes to 0-1. Croy working from the windup. The line, the 0-1 pitch. That one downstairs. 1-1. Roy agrees with the pitch. Now the 1-1, down and away, 2-1. Right now up over 90 pitches. There's the line, the 2-1. That one down low, 3-1. Nowhere to put him. Osmo, good hitters count right here. The line, the 3-1, and that one bounces to the plate. The Mariners have tied things up here in the top half of the fifth inning on a walk that scores a run. 2-2 here in the top half of the fifth. Well, that walk hurts Croy right there, who has been phenomenal here today, but does have 3 walks, has allowed 5 hits, but has also struck out 8. R.J. Williams to the plate. He's 0 for 2. Ground out to second in the second. Struck out swinging in the fourth. Bases still loaded, 2 gone. Roy Wines delivers the pitch. That's downstairs and away, 1-0. Now some action in the Lima Locos bullpen down in left field. Roy Wines delivers the 1-0 pitch. That one's down and away, 2-0. Two balls, no strikes. The line, the pitch. Outside, 3-0. RJ Williams way ahead here. Two gone in the top half of the fifth inning. Bases loaded, nowhere to put RJ Williams. Croy takes a deep breath, working from the windup. Here's the 3-0 pitch. That one on the outside corner, called for a strike. 3-1. RJ Williams going to see if Croy can throw him two more here. Still ahead in the count, 3-1. Isles down at third, Linder at second, Osmo at first. The line, the 3-1 pitch. That one's down low. Another walk came in to score, and the Mariners have taken a 3-2 lead here in the top half of the fifth inning after two bases loaded walks. Let's see if that is the end for Croy here tonight. Everybody meeting by the mound on the infield for the Locos. Cole Womack, the next batter to the plate. He's 1 for 1 with a single and a sac fly his last time up. The home plate umpire breaking things up now. Bases remain loaded, two gone here in the top half of the fifth inning. 2 runs in to score. Here's the line, the pitch. Womack takes for a strike, 0-1. Eighth batter to bat here this inning for the Mariners. Here's the line, the 0-1. Womack looking silly on that swing right there. Now down to the count, 0-2. Just flailing his bat out there, trying to get contact. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 gone, bases loaded. Linder at third. Osmo at second. RJ Williams at first. The 0-2, that one bounces to the plate. Good blocked by Thomas. Count moves to 1-2. That was Croy's 100th and 1 pitch. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 gone. Croy steps to the side, now delivers the pitch inside. Oh, that one almost hit him. Just missing Womack there. Count even up at 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 gone. The line, the pitch. That's down and in. Full count. Runners will be off and running on the pitch. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 gone. Bases are loaded for Cole Womack. The line, the pitch. Swung on, this one's lined in the left center field gap. That's going to get down. 1 run scores. Osmo going to come in to score as well. RJ Williams, he's around third. He's in to score, and the Mariners have opened things up on a bases clearing double by Cole Womack. Three runs coming to score. It's a 5-run inning for Grand Lake. They are now on top, 6-2, and Brad Croy's night is done. It's going to be a pitching change, and we'll bring you every update when we come back. Runner on second, 2 gone, 6-2. The Mariners lead it. You're listening and watching Grand Lake Mariner Baseball right here on YouTube. We're here in the top half of the 5th inning. Joe Gomez come on, but now they're having a meeting. Something may have not felt well for Gom on the mound. He's going to add a couple more warm-up pitches here. There's 2 gone in the inning. Cole Womack clears the bases with a double into the left center field gap. Mariners on top, 6-2. Nick Emanuel going to step to the plate. 9th batter to bat this inning for Grand Lake. Joe Gom is on the mound. First time pitching here in the playoffs. In the regular season, no wins, no loss, or 4 wins, no losses, 1.60 ERA. The pitch to Emanuel, that's in there for a strike, 0-1. He had a 1.6 ERA, made 10 appearances, 1 start, 3 saves, 33 and 2/3 innings pitched for Gom, 38 strikeouts, 3 walks, and 27 hits. 6-2, Mariners on top. Gom comes set. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss by Emanuel, and he is down in the count, 0-2 now. Nothing into the count. Here's the next pitch. That one bounces in the dirt. 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes. The pause, the pitch, swung on. This one's hit foul territory. Over looking at it. It gets out of play. Count moves to 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes. The next one swung on, fouled off. Count remains 1-2. 5 runs come in to score for the Mariners. Three straight base runners have reached base with 2 gone. The pause, the 1-2 pitch on Emanuel is called. Strike 3 ends the inning. Mariners, however, have taken a 4-run lead here in the top half of the 5th inning. They get a 5 spot on the board. They now lead it 6-2. You're listening and watching Grand Lake Mariner Baseball right here on YouTube. Bottom half of the fifth inning. Mariners with a 5 spot in the top half of the fifth. They now lead at 6-2. Hereford Wines delivers the first pitch, swung on, grounded, fouled on the third base line. Count goes to 0-1 here on JT Thomas. He's 0 for 1, popped out to second, his first time up. Here's the next pitch. That's a curveball in there for a strike, 0-2. That one swung on. That one's lifted left center field. R.J. Williams over, makes the catch. One gone. Jay Muse, the second baseman, now steps to the plate. He grounded out the third in his first at-bat. The Mariners add 5. They add 2 bases loaded walks to bring in a pair, and then Cole Womack unloads them with a double to left center. This one swung on, lifted left field. R.J. Williams racing towards the line. Not going to come up with it. Count goes to 0-1. Jay Muse going to be followed by Tyler Tobert here in the bottom half of the fifth inning. Oh, 1 count. The wind, the pitch. Outside, 1-1. One swung on, lifted right field. Varda over, doesn't have to move very much, makes the catch. Two gone. And Tyler Tobert comes to the plate. The shortstop for the Locos. He struck out looking in his first AB. Two gone, bottom half of the fifth inning. 6-2, Mariners lead it. That one swung on, popped him up on the infield. Linder going to call for it. He makes the catch, ends the inning. So just what you ask for when you get a 5 spot on the board. A shutdown inning from Josh Herford. 1, 2, 3 go the Locos. We go on to the top half of the 6th. Mariners lead it 6-2. You're listening, watching Grand Lake Mariner Baseball right here on YouTube. Top half the sixth inning. 6-2. Mariners lead it. Fitzsimmons going to lead things off. He was hit by a pitch and came around to score. Last inning, the pitch swung on and missed for strike one. There's a new pitcher gone, leaving due to injury. Here's the wind, the 0-1 pitch, and that one's inside. 1-1. Cole Baker is the new pitcher, 6'3", 220. Attends Marshalltown Community College. His hometown, Urbandale, Iowa. And on the mound now for the Lima Locos. So Baker winds, delivers the 1-1 pitch. That one's down and in, and that one hit Fitzsimmons as well. All right. So Fitzsimmons with his second hit by pitch of the night. So runner on first, the leadoff runner for the Mariners. As we go to the top of the order, Joe Isles. 2 for 2 with a single in the first, walk in the third, and a single back in the fifth inning, in which he came around to score then as well. Baker on the year, he is a 2-0 record in the regular season, 4.84 ERA. Made 9 appearances, the pitch up high, 4-0. 4 of those were starts, 26 innings pitched for him, 16 strikeouts, 20 walks, and 23 hits allowed by Baker. 1-0 pitch, here's the next one, and that one is popped out of play to right-hand side, 1-1. One ball, one strike. Baker comes set, the pitch. Isle swings and misses at a ball outside the strike zone. 1-2, and that's just something you don't see much from Isles. Very patient and very controlled at the plate. Usually has a pretty good eye. Baker getting him a chase one right there. 1-2 the count. Fitzsimmons off at first. Here's the next pitch. That one's just tapped foul. Count remains 1-2. One ball, two strikes. No one gone here. Top half the sixth inning. A pitch swung on. That one's grounded right back up the middle. Oh, takes a big hop. Tober up with it. Throws on to first. Not in time. Good play right there from Tober, but the speed too much as Joe Isles down at first. And head coach for the Locos, not too happy right now with that call. Looked like Isles had it beat, but up here, not too good of an angle. So there's one gone in the inning on that fielder's choice ground out. It was a nice play by Tyler Tobert. So one gone here in the top half of the sixth inning. Isles down at first. Pat Reif coming to the plate. 6-2. Grand Lake leads it. Reif, 1 for 3, struck out looking his last time up. Isles takes off for second. JT Thomas comes up, and he's not going to have a throw as it pops out of his mitt. Isles with the stolen base. Now runner on second, 1-0 count on Patrick Reif. Isles got a pretty good jump right there. Baker comes set, looks at second. Now the pitch home. That's up high. 2-0. Knight is cooling off Sun setting in left center field. 6-2. Mariners on top. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Inside as it Reif twists out of the way. 3-0 the count on Patrick Reif. Three balls, no strikes on Patrick Reif. Runner at second. The next pitch swung on, grounded to second. Muse up with it. He's only going to have a play to first. 2 gone in the inning. Isles moves up to third. Two gone, Tucker Linder to the plate. Linder 0 for 3. Rounded to a double play in the first, struck out looking in the third. Reached on an error his last time up. Two gone. Here's the pitch to Linder. That one's down low. 1-0. Baker working out of the windup. The pitch. That one gets to the backstop. Isles not going to be able to come in to score. That one scoots all the way. And Isles probably not too happy with himself, saying, I probably could have beat that one home. But he stays at third. Count goes to 2-0. Well, I'm lucky that they didn't allow a run right there. Two balls, no strikes. 2 gone. All right, third. The line, the 2-0. In there for a strike. 2-1. The line, the 2-1. The swing and a miss by Linder. Evens the count up at 2-2. The line, the 2-2, outside, full count. The payoff pitch, it's outside. And low Linder down to first with the 2-out walk. Runners on the corners. With 2 gone, we'll have time as we'll have a mound visit. Nick Varda going to step to the plate for Grand Lake. Do we have a pitching change here? And it looks like we do. Cole Baker's night is done. And we'll have a pitching change here in the top half of the 6th inning. Runners on the corners, 2 gone. We'll be right back after this pitch change. You're listening and watching Grand Lake Mariner Baseball right here on YouTube. We go on here as we're still here in the top half of the 6th inning. 6-2. The Mariners lead it. Runners on the corners. Jake Posey, the new pitcher. Nick Varda to the plate. The pitch outside. 1-0. So fourth pitcher for Lima here tonight. It's Isles at third. Linder at first. The pitch outside corner called the strike. 1-1. Varda 1 for 3. Struck out in the first. Singled in the fourth. Came around to score then and struck out in the fifth inning. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Varda. Swing and a miss right there. Now Varda's behind in the count, 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes. Because his family doesn't like his girlfriend, so why would she not with him? A pause. Linder takes off. That swing and fouled right back. Linder had a good job. He had a good jump right there. One ball, 2 strikes on Varda. Here's the next pitch. Swing and a miss. Varda down on strikes. There you go to the bottom half of the 6th inning. 6-2. Mariners lead it. You're listening, watching Grand Lake Mariner Baseball right here on YouTube. Bottom half of the 6th inning we head. 6-2. Grand Lake leads it. We'll start things at the top of the order for the Locos. Ross Adolph, he's 0 for 2. We'll go out to right field in the first. The first pitch in there for a strike, 0-1. Adolph also grounded out to first in the third. Here's the line, the 0-1 pitch outside, 1-1. The line, the 1-1 pitch. Swung on, that one's pulled foul, the right-hand side. 1-2. The line, the 1-2 pitch. That one's way outside and high, 2-2. Glad you're joining us. Game 1 of the championship series between the Lima Locos and Grand Lake Mariners. As the 2-2 pitch, long on, popped him up on the infield. Osmo near short, makes the catch, 1 gone. So we're in game 1, and game 2 will be played tomorrow, 7:05, first pitch at Montgomery Field. If game 3 is necessary, we'll play that back here at Simmons Field on Monday at 7:05. It's a best-of-3 series. 6-2, Grand Lake leads it. Josh DeBacker to the plate. 0-4-2. Here's the pitch. That one up high, and that one gets to the backstop. Count goes 0-1, or 1-0. Flew out to left in the first, and then flew out to right field in the third. The 1-0 pitch. Curveball just misses down low, 2-0. A 2-0 outside corner, called a strike, 2-1. Hartford steps back, the 2-1. Yeah, one's in there for a strike, evens the count up at 2-2. Two balls, two strikes, one gone. DeBacker at the plate. The 2-2. Outside. Full count. There's the line, the payoff pitch, swung on. This one's lifted left center field. R.J. Williams not going to get this one. That one gets in the gap. On his way to second, the throw coming in. It's going to be a close one, and in there safely, DeBacker with a double. Good throw in there, but Cole Womack turning around the wrong way to try to get DeBacker. So he's in there with a double. The first hit for the Locos sends back in the second inning. Only their second hit in the game. Both of them have been at 4 extra base hits. Garrett Hodges to the plate. He's 0 for 2. Flew out to center in the first, flew out to left in the fourth. Runner on second, one gone. 6-2. Grand Lake on top of the Locos here. Hereford works from the stretch. Here's the pitch. That one swung on, lifted high, and in the infield still. Cole Womack calling for it at second base. He makes the catch, and there's 2 gone. Hereford working well and making the Locos get under a lot of pitches. Jedediah Fagg to the plate. 0 for 2. Reached on an error in the second. Came around to score then. And then he popped out to third back in the fourth inning. Runner on second. 2 gone. Hereford pauses. Here's the pitch. That is in there for a strike, 0-1. Nothing in 1, the count. DeBacker takes his lead off second. Here's the 0-1. That one swung on a miss. 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. Fagg at the plate. The pitch way up high, 1-2. Runner at second. Hereford looks at him. Now he delivers home. A pitch popped up out of play, right hand side. We'll do it again at 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 gone. Hereford jump set. The 1-2. Just low. 2-2. Mariners. And the championship series for the first time since 2006. Hereford comes set. The 2-2. That one bounces. full count. So Jedediah Fagg with a good AB here, making Hereford work a little bit. He comes set. The payoff pitch. Swung on, popped him up, out of play. We'll do the payoff pitch once more. Here it is. That is low. He walked him. So runners at first and second now with 2 gone. Will Kilgore comes to the plate. Just the first walk for Hereford tonight. So doing a good job of keeping and not giving the Locos free base runners. Did hit a guy back in the 4th inning. But Coach Germain going to go out to talk to Hereford and Emmanuel. Kilgore to the plate. He's 1 for 1. He was hit by pitches the last time up. 2-run home run back in the 2nd. Runners on 2nd and 1st. 2 gone. Bottom half of the 6th inning. 6-2. Grand Lake on top. Hereford. 70 pitches all night. 46 for strikes. 24 for balls. Kilgore at the plate. Here's the first pitch. That one in there for a strike. 0-1. The backer. He got a double after Ross Adolph was popped out to short. Hodges popped out to second after the backer, and then Jedediah Fagg walking just now. The 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Hereford ahead 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 gone. The 0-2 swung on, fouled straight back. Count remains 0-2. It's still an 0-2 count on Will Kilgore. The pitch up high, 1-2. The 1-2 pitch, swung on, popped him up, foul territory. Linder gonna chase after it, but gets out of play. Count remains 1-2. Runners at first and second, 2 gone. The 1-2 pitch outside, 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 gone. Deuces are wild here in the bottom half of the 6th inning. The pitch. That one's down low, full count. So runners will be off on the next pitch. Third 3-2 count here this inning for Hereford. And time is called at the plate. The payoff pitch, swing and a miss. Hereford got him, his second strikeout of the day for Josh Hereford, ends the inning. We go to the seventh inning, 6-2, Grand Lake leads it. You're watching and listening to Grand Lake Mariner Baseball right here on YouTube. We go to the top half of the seventh inning, 6-2. Grand Lake on top. As the pitch is high and inside to Nate Osmo. Osmo's 0 for 1. He walked twice. He came around to score last time he walked. That pitch outside, 2-0. A 2-0 in there for a strike, 2-1. The Mariners get one in the top half of the fourth, strike for 5 in the top half of the fifth. It's a 3-1 count here on Osmo. The Locos get their 2 in the bottom half of the second off a 2-run home run. Grand Lake on top, 6-2. 3-1 pitch to Nate Osmo. Swung on and got a good piece of it, but fouled it straight back. Full count.
Who? Me and Cecily? When we get back to BG. You'll be drinking on that sketchy. When we get back to BG, I will. But we have to get there first.
The line, the payoff pitch. Swung on, popped up. Out territory, out of play. Count remains 3-2. The line, the payoff pitch once more, up high, and for the third time tonight, Nate Osmo is on via the walk. R.J. Williams coming to the plate. R.J. 0 for 2, he walked, came around to score his last time up. Runner on first, no one gone. R.J. Williams at the plate. shows bunt, pulls it back, it bounces to the plate. Nate Osmo not going to get a good jump there, so he'll head back to first. 1-0 count. Hilbert goes out to Tuck to Baker now. Baker, the fourth pitcher to pitch for the Locos. Roy went 4 2/3. RJ buttoning again, and then he pulls back, but it's in there for a strike anyways. 1-1. So Croy went 4 2/3, allowed 6 hits, 6 runs, 4 walks, 8 strikeouts. Gallum just goes a third of an inning. Baker goes 2/3 of an inning, and Posey's on the mound, not Baker. Here's the 1-1. That one's down and 2-1. The 2-1. Now one outside. 3-1. So Posey running into some command problems here in the top half of the 7th inning. He walked to Osmo. Now down in the count 3-1 to R.J. Williams. The 3-1. Popped it up behind home plate. Full count now on R.J. Williams. Three balls, 2 strikes. Nate Osmo down at first. The next pitch is in the dirt. R.J. Williams heads down to first. Second straight walk. Gil Womack's now going to come to the plate. He's 2 for 2. He emptied the bases his last time out on a 3-2 pitch that he laced to left center field for a double, a sac fly in the 4th, and a single in the 2nd. Runners on first and second. No one gone here in the top half of the 7th inning. 6-2, Grand Lake on top. Womack bunting pushes that one back out of play. 0-1. A pause. The 0-1. Womack swinging, and he takes a healthy act right there, but comes up empty. 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes. The 0-2. Swung on, hit right back up the middle. Tolbert with it, goes to second. No, not in time as Tolbert tries to dive back. R.J. Williams beats the dive. And now the bases are loaded once again for Grand Lake as Nick Emanuel comes to the plate. Manuel 0 for 3, struck out looking in the 2nd, flew out to right field in the 4th, and struck out looking back in the 5th. Up here with the bases loaded, infield in for Lima. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss right there off the act from Emanuel. 0-1. 0-1 count. The pitch. Swung on, foul. Straight back into the fence. 0-2. The 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Third strikeout for Emmanuel. Fitzsimmons now to the plate. Fitzsimmons, he's 0 for 1, struck out looking in the third, was hit by a pitch in his last two at-bats. Here's the pitch. That one, high chopper over the head of the third baseman, gets into left field. R.J. Williams around third. He's going to be waved home. The throw to the plate is not going to be in time. R.J. Williams in there. It's a two-run RBI single for Stephen Fitzsimmons. Mariners increasing their lead now to 8-2. So Fitzsimmons coming up big here. The Mariners now have a 6-run lead as they're on top 8-2. We go back to the top of the order. Joe Isles to the plate. 2 for 3 at the plate. Single in the first, walk in the third, single and a run scored in the fifth. A fielder's choice and a stolen base. That pitch gets the backstop. The Mariner base runners move up 90 feet. Now it's second and third. 1-0 count on Isles. One gone. Eight 2. Grand Lake on top here. As the next pitch misses, 2-0. A pitch swung on, grounded to second. The throw to home, and it's going to be an out as Cole Womack is out trying to take home. Fielder's choice for Joe Isle once again. There's two gone. Runners on the corners. Pat Reif coming to the plate. Reif grounded out to second his last time out. Struck out looking in the fifth. Flew out to left in the third. Singled back in the first. Well, Pat Reif at the plate. Runners on the corners. Here's the pitch. He takes strike one. There's the pitch. That one gets the backstop. Coming in from home, it's Stephen Fitzsimmons. The throw is going to be offline. Another run comes in to score. 9-2 the Mariners lead. Wild pitch right there. So it's a 1-1 count here on Patrick Reif. Isles down at second, 1-1 the count. The next pitch, outside, 2-1. Two balls, one strike, two gone. The next pitch, outside, 3-1 on Patrick Reif. The 3-1, that one bounces right down to first with a 2-out walk. First and second, 2 gone. Tucker Linder to the plate. As we'll have time now. And it looks like Posey's night is done. So we'll have a pitching change here in the top half of the 7th inning. 9-2, Mariners lead it. We'll bring you everything when we come back. Runners on first and second, 2 gone. You're listening and watching Grand Lake Mariner Baseball right here on YouTube. We're still here in the top half of the 7th inning. Pitching change as Jacob Holcher has come on to pitch. Tucker Linder at the plate. The pitch in there for a strike. 0-1. Linder at the plate, 0 for 3. Double play in the first. Struck out looking in the third. Reached on an error in the 5th. And walked in the 6th. Runners on second and first. Here's the next pitch. That one misses. Snap throw down to first. Reif back in safely. Count goes to 1-1. Fulcher on the mound. He stands at 6'8", 235. This summer he went 1-1 with an 8.25 ERA. Made 8 appearances for the Locos. 12 innings, 12 strikeouts, 10 walks, 18 hits allowed. His last outing came against Licking County on July 26. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 gone. Top half the 7th inning, 9-2. Grand Lake leads it. Three runs home here in the top half of the 7th inning for Grand Lake. Linder steps back in the box. Holger comes set to 1-1. Swung on, popped up, foul territory, giving chase. And this one is going to a foul. Count goes to 1 and 2. One ball, 2 strikes. The count on Tucker Linder. Game 1 of the championship series between the 2 oldest teams in the Great Lakes Summer Collegiate League. The 1-2 pitch. Called. Strike 3. Linder down on strikes. We'll go to the bottom half of the 7th, stretch time here at Lima. You're listening and watching Grand Lake Mariner Baseball right here on YouTube. We go to the bottom half of the 7th inning. Mariners are on top 9-2 after they strike for 3 more in the top half of the 7th inning. Going to lead things off for the Lima Locos here. It's going to be JT Thomas, Jay Muse, and Tyler Tilbert. These 7, 8, 9 hitters for the Locos here in the bottom half of the 7th. The pitch, that one is up high, 1-0. The next pitch swung on, pops back out of play. 1-1. The 1-1 pitch swung on, popped him up. Shallow right field, Womack racing back near the line, and he's not going to be able to make the catch. The throw back to first, and oh no, Hereford dropped it. They would have had him after the big lead, but Hereford dropped the ball. And it's a base hit for JT Thomas. Runner on first to lead off the bottom half of the 7th for the Locos. And Jay Muse comes to the plate. Hereford comes set. Here's the pitch. In there for a strike. 0-1. It's actually Stephen Dobbs who got that base hit, and JT Thomas is at the plate now. So JT Thomas at the plate, runner on first, 0-1 count. Here's the pitch. That one's grounded. Isles at third. He goes to second for 1. The throw on to first. It is in time. 5-4-3 double play. And just like that, the leadoff base runner is erased. And there's 2 gone now in the bottom half of the 7th. Jay Muse comes to the plate. Jay Muse 0 for 2. As the pitch. 1-0. 1-0 pitch, bunted, but fouled off back behind the plate. Count goes to 1-1. The 1-1. Swung on, fouled back, and that one looked like he got the home plate umpire pretty well. Count moves to 1-2. That's going to show up in the morning. Not a pretty sight right there. That's a 1-2 count. 2 gone. Bottom half, 7-9-2. Mariners lead. Mariners, 9 runs on 7 hits, 1 error. Lima, 2 runs on 3 hits, 1 error. So it's still a 1-2 count here on Jay Muse. The pitch swung on. This one's lifted left field, but foul. Count moves, or stays at 1-2. A 1-2, swing and a miss. Pulled the strings on him. That ends the bottom half of the 7th inning. We go to the 8th. 9-2, Mariners on top. You're listening and watching Grand Lake Mariner Baseball right here on YouTube. We go here to the top half of the 8th inning. 9-2, Mariners lead it over the Lima Locos. Nick Varda going to lead things off for Grand Lake. 1-for-4 at the plate with a single and a run scored. Here's the pitch. That one up high, 1-0. Errors and walks hurting the Lima Locos here. As Halter comes set with the 1-1. That one's up high, 2-0. Lima Locos pitchers have combined for 8 walks. Despite the 12 strikeouts, the Mariners have 9 runs. That pitch fouled away. 2-1. 2-1. Swung on, fouled right back. 2-2. Two. A pitch up high, full count. Next pitch swung on a miss. Florida down on strikes. Once more, one gone. Nate Osmo to the plate. Osmo is 0 for 1, and he's walked his last 3 times to the plate, scoring twice. There's the pitch that swung on and missed. 0-1. There's the 0-1. That's outside. 1-1. Top half, 8th inning. 9-2. Grand Lake on top. It was Lima who struck first in the bottom half of the second inning on a 2-run home run. As the 1-1 swung on, this one's hit pretty well out to right field. Going back on it and making the catch is Josh DeBacker for out number 2. The Mariners would cut the lead to 2-1 in the top half of the 4th. Then in the top of the 5th, they exploded for 5 runs to take a 6-2 lead. They tack on 3 more in the top of the 7th, and that's where we stand at 9-2 the score. R.J. Williams now up at the plate. He's 0 for 2 with 2 walks and 2 runs scored. Here's the pitch, as that one's in there for a strike, 0-1. The 0-1 inside, 1-1. Let's get in game 2. Going to be tomorrow, 7:05. At Montgomery Field. It's going to be the final game there in Salina, no matter what. The 1-1 to RJ. He checked his swing. Did he go around? They appeal down to third. He did not. 2-1. We've had good crowds at the park all season, but the Mariners can really use your support if you can make it out tomorrow night at 7:05 to cheer on this team. Here's the 2-1. That one is called a strike. 2-2. Aldrich shakes off the side. Now he comes set. And he steps back. Time called. Next pitch called. Strike 3. That ends the inning. The first 1-2-3 inning for the Lima Locos. We go to the bottom half of the 8th inning, 9-2. Grand Lake leads it. You're listening and watching Grand Lake Mariner Baseball right here on YouTube. Welcome back. Brian Strobeck along with you here tonight. It's a 9-2 Grand Lake Mariner lead. Josh Herford on the mound, showing bunt. Tober gets it down the third base line. Emmanuel throws on to first. This one's going all the way into right field. Florida picks it up, and he's going to be in there at second base. It's a base hit for Tilbert, and he gets down to second on the air. Well, it's Adolph now going to get things or continue things here in the bottom of the eighth. He's 0 for 3. Flew out to right in the first, rounded out to first in the third, and popped out to short in the sixth. 9-2, Grand Lake leads. Fourth hit of the day for the Lima Locos. Herford still on the mound. He's worked effectively here tonight. A pitch in there for a strike, 0-1. That was the 90th pitch by Josh Herford. 60 strikes, 30 balls. So 2/3 of his pitches being strikes, pretty effective. Here's the next pitch. That one down low, 1-1. The 1-1. And misses for a ball. 2-1. Two balls, one strike. The next one swing and a miss right there from Adolph. 2-2. Two, two. High and away. Full count.
So she told you 7. She told me 7 last night. I just didn't change it till this morning. That was my fault.
The payoff pitch. Swing and a miss right there from Adolph. And that's the fourth strikeout from Herford. One gone. Josh DeBacker comes to the plate. He's 1 for 3. Here's the pitch. Outside corner for a strike, 0-1. He doubled his last time up. Flew out to left in the first and flew out to right in the third. There's the 0-1. Outside, 1-1. Applause. Now the 1-1. That's just been outside, 2-1. Two balls, one strike, one gone. Herford. The pause, now the pitch. Inside corner, called a strike, evens it up at 2-2. Two balls, two strikes. Runner at second, the next pitch. That one's down low, full count. Second straight full count hitter. A payoff pitch outside. He walked him. That's the second walk issued by Hereford. Runners on first and second now with one gone. It doesn't really hurt you that much. You had first base open. Garrett Hodges now coming to the plate. He's 0 for 3. Garrett Hodges flew out to center in the first. Here's the first pitch to him, and that's in there for a strike, 0-1. Flew out to left in the fourth and popped out the second in the sixth. Runners on first and second, one gone. Bottom half, the eighth inning, 9-2. Grand Lake leads it. The next pitch swung on. This one's off the glove of Hereford, and Womack can't come up with it. Rule that an E4 right there for Cole Womack. Bases loaded, one gone. As Jack Berry has now stepped to the plate for Jedediah Fagg. He's going to be a pitch hitter. Coach Germain coming out to the mound. See if they make a pitching change here. I know, talk to Hereford. Someone warming up in the bullpen. See if we can see who it is. All bases loaded, one gone. Hereford stays in. Jack Berry to the plate. He comes set. The pitch. Swung on. This one's chopped in front of the plate. The throw down to first. They'll trade a run for an out here. RBI ground out for Jack Berry. Well, they're going to call it a foul ball. Oh, no, they're not. No, Jack Berry heads back to the dugout. Two gone and a run scored, but run doesn't really matter much. Mariners up 9-3. Will Kilgore comes to the plate. 1 for 2 at the plate. 2-run home run in the second. Struck out in the sixth. And he was also hit by a pitch later. Hartford comes set. Here's the pitch. That one misses for a ball. 1-0. Here's the 1-0. That one misses for a ball as well. 2-0. For that count on Will Kilgore. A 2-0 outside, 3-0. Three balls, no strikes, 2 gone. Arms on second and third. The pitch outside. He walked him. Second walk in the inning issued by Hereford. As he struggled there to find the zone. And Stephen Dobbs comes to the plate. Bases loaded, 2 gone. Bottom half of the eighth inning, 9-3. Grand Lake leads it. Dobbs. 1 for 3 at the plate. There's the pitch. Swung on, grounded to short. And that one is bobbled by Nate Osmo. Everybody's going to be safe. He's 6 right there. Inning stays alive. It's a 9-4 ball game now. JT Thomas comes to the plate. The catcher, 0 for 3. Ran into a double play his last time up. The pitch, and there for a strike, 0-1. Hartford comes set. Here's the next pitch. Check the swing. Did he go around? They say he did not. Yeah, moves to 1-1. There's the 1-1. That one misses for a ball. 2-1. He comes set, the 2-1 pitch. Swung on, this one's roped down the line, and it's a foul ball. 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 gone. The pitch. Swung on, broke his bat. This one is going to be not caught by Nate Osmo. It drops into left field. The throw from RJ to third. And the tag is going to be missed. It's going to bring in 2. And the inning stays alive. It's a 9-6 ball game. Coach O'Neill going to go out to talk, and we're going to have a mound visit. Hereford's night is done. We'll be back with the pitching change. You're listening and watching Grand Lake Mariner Baseball right here on YouTube. Brantley Canute has come on now to pitch for Grand Lake. We're here in the bottom half of the 8th inning. 9-6 is our score. Locos storming back. Here's the pitch. It's in there for a strike. 0-1. Jay Muse at the plate. 0 for 3 on the day. Ground out to third in the second. Fly out to right in the 5th. And strikeout in the 7th. The 0-1 swung on, fouled away, and Canute up ahead of Muse. 0-2. 4 runs for the Locos here in the bottom half of the 8th inning. Mariners on top 9-6. Here's the 0-2. Popped him up. Shallow right field. Womack going over. And he makes the catch, diving backwards. Overran it a little bit, but makes the catch, makes it interesting. We'll end the 8th inning there on a pretty impressive play from Cole Womack. We go to the 9th inning, 9-6. Grand Lake leads it. You're listening and watching Grand Lake Mariner Baseball right here on YouTube. Top half 9th inning, 9-6. Grand Lake on top. Cole Womack going to lead things off for Grand Lake here in the top half of the 9th inning. It'll be Womack, Emmanuel, Fitzsimmons. Game 1 of the best of 3 in the championship series. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss by Womack. 0-1. Now here's the 0-1 pitch to Womack. He flies this one out. Shallow right field. Coming over is the backer. He makes the catch. One gone. That brings up Nick Emanuel. He's 0 for 4 at the plate. There's the pitch. Allen bounces. What a no. Alter comes set, the 1-0. Swing and a miss. Hefty swing right there for Mick Emanuel. Count goes to 1-1. 1-1. Going down. 2-1. Here's the 2-1. Inside corner, called a strike, 2-2. Two balls, two strikes. The next pitch inside, almost hit him, turned Emmanuel away. Full count. A payoff pitch, swung on, fouled away. Count remains 3-2. Three balls, two strikes, one gone. 3-2. Popped up, out of play. Manuel stays alive. A payoff pitch once more, swung on. This one's fouled away. Manuel, good AB right here. This will be the 8th pitch of the at-bat. A pause, the 3-2. Up high, he walked him. A runner on first, one gone. Stephen Fitzsimmons comes to the plate. 1 for 2. He had a 2-run single. His last time up, he's been hit by a pitch twice as well. A runner on first. One gone. Fitzsimmons at the plate. Here's the pitch. That one swung, and that one's right back up the middle, over the leaping Tyler Tilbert. And into center field. Fitzsimmons has his second hit of the game. Runners on first and second now, with one gone. And we'll have time right here as we'll have a pitching change, it looks like. Joe Isles is going to come to the plate. It looks like we're going to be right back. Runners on first and second when we do come back. It's a 9-6 Grand Lake lead. You're listening and watching Grand Lake Mariner Baseball right here on YouTube. Welcome back. The top half of the ninth inning. 9-6, Grand Lake leads it. Runners on first and second for Jill Wiles. The new pitcher on the mound is Joe Taylor. 6'3", 190 from Kennesaw State University. His hometown, Atlanta, Georgia. He pitched on Thursday. He went 2/3 of an inning, striking out one, allowing no hits, no runs, and no walks. In the summer, he was 3-2 with a 2.93 ERA. Made 13 appearances for the Locos, 15 and a third innings pitched, 24 strikeouts, 10 walks, 15 hits. Isles at the plate. He's 2 for 4 with a walk. Here's the pitch. That one is up high. I want to know. One ball, no strikes. The next pitch. That one inside, 2-0. Fitzsimmons down at second Emmanuel's down at second. Fitzsimmons is down at first. Emmanuel walked in a good AB. It's all at least 8 pitches. And Fitzsimmons singled right back up the middle. Here's the next pitch to Isles. He swings at this one, lifts it high and deep to right field. Emmanuel looking like he's going to tag. He will. Yeah, throw is coming in. It's going to be cut off. So Isles down with a fly out to right. Emmanuel down at third. There's runners on the corners now with 2 gone. And Patrick Reif to the plate. Reif 1 for 4. He walked his last time up. Here's the pitch. That one's in there for a strike. 0-1. Next pitch swung on, lifted into left field. 2 gone, and the catch is made. Ends the inning. We go to the bottom half of the 9th inning. 9-6, Grand Lake leads it. We'll be right back. You're listening, watching Grand Lake Mariner Baseball right here on YouTube. We go to the bottom half of the ninth inning. 9-6, Grand Lake on top. It'll be Tilbert, then we'll back to the top of the order with Ross Adolph and Josh DeBacker. 9-6, Grand Lake leads at game one of best of three in the championship series of the GLSCL. Brentley Crenute is on the mound. So Tilbert, he bunted and got all the way down to second base his last time after an errant throw. He's up again. Isles playing well in on the grass. Here's the pitch. That one in there for a strike, 0-1. Crenute winds, delivers the 0-1 pitch way outside. 1-1. 2 runs for the Locos in the bottom of the second. Mariners, 1 run in the top of the fourth, 5 in the top of the fifth, 3 in the top of the seventh, and then the Locos with 4 in the bottom of the eighth. The 1-1 pitch, it is in there for a strike. 1-2, the count here on Tyler Tilbert. The 1-2 pitch swung on right center field. It's going to get down in the gap for extra base hits, possibly for Tilbert. On his way to second, he is going for 3. The throw's cut off. The throw to third. It's not in time. Tilbert's in there with a leadoff triple. Oh, Tyler Tilbert leads it off with a triple here in the bottom half of the ninth inning. Ross Adolph comes to the plate. Adolph 0 for 4 on the night. Tying run is on the on-deck circle. Here's the pitch. That one is in there for a strike, 0-1. No balls, 1 strike. No one gone. Here's the 0-1. That one swung on, fouled straight back. Crenute ahead 0-2 now. Crenute comes set, the 0-2. Just a little bit low. 1-2. Didn't miss by much. Tough take right there if you're Adolph, but he gets the call. There's the pause. The 1-2. Swung on. That one's fouled back. Now it remains 1-2. Tilbert down at third. Crenute comes set. The 1-2 pitch. Swung on, grounded to second. Wilmer up with it. Throws on to first. In time. 1 gone. They'll trade a run for an out here. Base is now empty. RBI ground out for Ross Adolph. 9-7 our score. Bottom half of the ninth inning, 1 gone. Josh DeBacker to the plate. 1 for 3 at the plate. He walked his last time up and came around to score. Here's the line, the pitch. In there for a strike, 0-1. The line, the 0-2. Swing and a miss. Or excuse me, 0-1. Now it's 0-2. Here on Josh DeBacker. 9-7 Grand Lake up. Here in the bottom half of the ninth inning. The line, the 0-2 pitch outside. And in the other's batter's box, 1-2. The line, the 1-2. Swung on, popped him up, out of play. Left-hand side. Count remains 1-2. The line, the 1-2 pitch, just a bit outside, 2-2. Two balls, two strikes, one gone. Arnott steps back. Now the pitch. Swing on. Popped up. Foul territory. Isles near the fence. Does he make the catch? I think he does. He does. He makes the catch. Two gone. And the Mariners 1 out away now from taking game 1 of this series. Garrett Hodges to the plate. 0 for 4 on the day. Arnott sidesteps the pitch up high, 1-0. The 1-0 pitch. That one's low. 2-0. The line, the 2-0 pitch. That one is inside. 3-0. The 3-0, and that one misses. Tying run comes to the plate in the form of Jack Berry. Runner on first, 2 gone, bottom half of the 9th inning. So Hodges down at first with a 2-out walk. Berry to the plate. Berry pitched hit for Fag back in the 8th inning. Here's the pitch. That one low. 1-0. Strike zone seems to have shrunk here. The 1-0 pitch. That one's outside. 2-0. Pitches aren't all that bad. Just missing by a hair or two. The 2-0. Swing and a miss. Healthy act right there from Berry. 2-1. Two balls, one strike, 2 gone. The pitch. Swing and a miss. 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 gone. Bottom half of the 9th inning. Runner on first. Arnott comes set, but time is called by Berry at the plate. A pause. The 2-2. Just missed down low. Full count. Runner will be off and running on the pitch. The payoff pitch. Swung on, grounded to second. Womack up with it. The throw on to first in time. Grand Lake takes game 1 by a score of 9-7. Mariners have a 1-0 series lead in the championship against the Lima Locos. Game 2 tomorrow, 7:05 Montgomery Field. Mariners with a chance to win it. Mariners are victorious against the Lima Locos 9-7. Locos strike first here tonight in the bottom half of the second inning with a 2-run home run. Mariners come back to score 9 unanswered runs. And then the Locos come storming back, score 5 in the last 2 innings. But Granute gets Jack Berry to ground out to end the game. Mariners victorious once again, 9-7. We'll see you guys tomorrow at 7:05 at Montgomery Field. I'm Ryan Strobeck saying have a good night, and we'll see you tomorrow.